service. Welcome to the Lunchtime Look North. I'm Carol Malia. Good afternoon. First, this lunchtime, a search is continuing for a 19-year-old man who's believed to have died after going into the sea in Northumberland. Police were called on Tuesday night following reports of a man in the water near Brewer. Officers say a kayak carrying two men capsized and one was able to swim to a buoy before being rescued by the Coast Guard. Hospital managers in Bulletin in North Yorkshire are telling patients not to attend planned appointments today after a large fire on the site yesterday. The blaze has caused extensive damage and Bulletin Community Hospital, including the Urgent Treatment Centre, is currently closed. York and Scarborough Teaching Hospitals NHS Foundation Trust says all patients were taken to safety with no reports of any injuries. The Trust says it will contact people with appointments to rearrange or advise on the next steps. A dog grooming salon has been forced to close and flats above it have been evacuated after a car crashed into its window. It happened yesterday while staff in the salon were busy working with pets. Jim Scott sent us this report from Clevedon in South Tyneside.
Well, this salon right about now would be really busy with customers, staff, and even, of course, those dogs in for their weekly grooms. But this is what's been left of a family-run business in Clevedon after that car ploughed into it yesterday morning. Well, joining me is the owner, Katie, and this has been really quite devastating, hasn't it? Hard to swallow.
Absolutely heartbroken, I am. Absolutely devastating. Real shock to the system for us all.
Yeah, I mean, what were people doing when that car crashed into the shop front?
We were all on our various workstations, grooming our various dogs, just doing what we normally do, and then we got the shock of our lives when a big bang happened in the salon. There was a Mercedes bonnet there. So yeah, real big shock for us all.
Well, thankfully, there's been no reported injuries. How are the dogs doing? How are the staff doing?
The staff, I think, are all in shock, but they're okay. The dogs, thankfully, are all okay. We managed to get them all out safely. They've all been unharmed, and I've been in touch with them all, and all the owners have said that they're fine. So thankfully, it's a good end to an awful situation.
Great, well, fingers crossed things get sorted soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Katie. Well, it isn't just the salon that's been affected. There's actually flats above, and the people who live there have been temporarily evacuated as a safety precaution. And I'll have more on this story in tonight's Look North.
Cumbria Fire and Rescue Service is urging people to be prepared and take care when swimming in rivers and lakes as the hot weather continues. With temperatures in parts of the region hitting 30 degrees Celsius, many are heading out to try to cool off. Well, earlier this year, though, a teenager drowned while swimming in a Lake District tarn. The fire service says people should think carefully before going into water to avoid cold water shock.
Enter the water slowly and adjust to the temperature. A number of lakes in our county also have shelves, so that's where it might start shallow, but very quickly kind of tapers off, and it's very deep water. And if you do see someone in danger, don't enter the water yourself. Call 999 and give them something like 3 words.
Now, it is a year to go until the Tour de France arrives in Cumbria. It's exciting, but most of us, let's face it, are never going to cycle at a professional or club level. In fact, a recent survey from the Office of National Statistics reveals 1 in 4 children aged between 5 and 10 doesn't own or have access to a bike. Well, Bikeability is the government's national cycle training programme, and BBC Radio Newcastle breakfast presenter Matt Bailey went to meet a group of students from Kells Lane Primary School in Gateshead, working towards their level 2.
All right, good morning, everybody. Right, so this morning's session, we're gonna perform on a junction.
I've got great memories of learning to ride a bike and spent many happy hours on my BMX pedalling around the streets of Stannington. But like many children across our region, I don't own a bike anymore, and busy roads can make cycling feel dangerous.
Well done, off we go.
Despite Despite lots of traffic, the children were soon able to confidently turn right at a busy junction. But I still felt nervous about carrying out the manoeuvre, and I was grateful for the clear instruction.
Do you remember when they were riding in that primary position?
Yeah.
What were they saying to the traffic when they were riding there?
So they stuck out a hand, signalled that they were going to turn left, and then they were in primary, came back down to the junction of primary.
And then it was time to get those pedals moving.
Yeah. Stay in that position, good. Great, well done, yeah. And then we're going to go into what position again?
Primary again, into the centre of the junction.
Hold that position, so we're going to hold that position into the junction.
Okay, I'm good to go.
Great, brilliant. Good position there, Matt, well done. Oh, how did that feel?
It was good.
Yeah.
It's just, well, do you know what? When the car's coming up behind you, that is the most nerve-wracking bit, because I'm thinking I'm supposed to be out in my primary position, in the middle of the road.
I felt a real sense of achievement, and I wasn't the only one who'd enjoyed being in the saddle.
You know, you're doing the U-turn and there's cars around and everything. Do you ever get a bit nervous?
No, I like how I know what I'm doing, and it was very laid back and chill today, so I really enjoyed it.
What do you love about cycling so much?
If you don't drive, it's really useful to get places faster than walking, and I really enjoy it being eco-friendly as well.
I really like how you sort of get more confident on it, and then until you can really enjoy it, rather than just feel nervous about falling off.
Bikeability works with 38 schools across Gateshead to give children the skills and the confidence they need to cycle on the street. And not having your own bike is not a problem.
We've been able to attain a number of bicycles where we can contact a school and say, look, we'd like to provide you with a cycle training course. They might say to us, well, there's some good appetite in the school to do it, but they haven't got bikes. So we say, okay, well, that's not a problem. We'll get some bikes down to you. The pupils can jump on them, use them for a week, and then from there, they've got that skill set, and it's up to them how they want to progress that into the future.
I feel that I now have the confidence to head out on a busy road, which is something I didn't have before. And the fact that they're offering 11-year-olds here in Gateshead this opportunity is absolutely fantastic. Genuinely, one session, I'm ready to go. I'm off on my bike.
And you can hear Matt Bailey every weekday morning from 6 on BBC Radio Newcastle, and he will be sitting in a chair, nice and safe, in the studio. Sunderland footballer Luke O'Nien has received an honorary degree from the city's university. Luke, who's been at the club for 8 years now and has made more than 300 appearances, was presented with an honorary doctorate of sport by former Look North presenter Jeff Brown, who's a pro-chancellor at the university. Newcastle United have completed the signing of teenage midfielder Sean Sturr from Ajax. The 18-year-old landed on Tyneside yesterday and has now finalised a £23 million move. He's signed a 5-year contract and says it's an incredible feeling to be here, especially when the weather's like this. Right, let's have a look at that forecast now, shall we? Here's Molly Brewer.
Hello there, good afternoon. Feeling very warm, if not hot, out there for many today. We'll have plenty of sunshine into this afternoon and blue skies quite widely. In fact, if you take a look at the graphics, you see barely any activity there. We will have some light patchy cloud at times, and it'll be very high pollen levels today and high UV levels, so take care if you are enjoying the sunshine. Highs of 28 degrees Celsius. This evening, we'll have plenty of sunshine to end the day. And then it will be a clear night predominantly with a bit of mist and fog developing, particularly towards the eastern coast, and lows of around 13 degrees Celsius, an even warmer night to come tomorrow. In terms of tomorrow, a bit of a change. So we do have high pressure drifting towards the north. Now, that is going to bring a slight change in wind direction, which will mean it's going to feel slightly fresher towards the eastern coast, where we could start the day with a bit of mist and fog, and there could be some cloud about first thing, but it will lift and we will have plenty of sunshine. Having said that, we are going to see highs of 25 degrees Celsius mainly along the eastern coast, so while still in that heat wave threshold, it is going to be a bit fresher, whereas towards the west, towards Cumbria, highs of 29 degrees Celsius. But we are going to get plenty of sunshine into the rest of next week. There will be some cloud around at times, and temperatures will be slightly lower than what we've seen, probably a bit more comfortable.
Sounds sounds just right, doesn't it? Okay, that's it from me for now. Here's Lewis Vaughan-Jones and the News at 1.